Hey, it's Emily Francis. I wanted to share a little story with you. I've been writing books for longer than people would have any idea because I self-published a lot and then finally got picked up by a publisher 12 years ago, something like that. And I've been writing ever since. And this new book, The Taste of Joy, Mediterranean Wisdom for a Life Worth Savoring. I'll show you the cover. This book is nothing like everything else I've written. And it's from being here in Malta. And I have to say, it's the hardest book push I've ever done in my life. I don't think I've ever been as invested, heartfelt invested as I am with this book, because it's my heart on pages. It's my love letter to Malta and how my life changed, really opened up, and I nourished my soul in a way I never knew was possible. And I thought, okay, this is going to be the big book. This is going to be the one. When I was first learning how to write books and really pursuing, okay, I want to be published, I started visiting any author that came to Atlanta. I would read the Atlanta Journal and Constitution for what their activities were, and I would find out what authors were coming to town, and I would go to them, whether I'd read their book or not, and listen to their talk. I wanted to learn everything I could. And there was a guy, he wrote a book called Future Proof, and he was there, and I went to go see him. I had read the book, and I loved it. I ate it. I devoured it. And the way he did it was he self-published the book and allowed people to download the first 100 pages for free. And then if you wanted to finish the book, you had to order it. And he sold so many that way that HarperCollins came around and they published the book. So he was on this book tour, and I'm there in Atlanta. I think my brother came with me. And I asked him this question. I said, I just want you to take me through the experience of going from self-published to having HarperCollins of all publishers pick you up. And what is your life like now? Can you please just explain to me the bliss and the experience of getting that? And he looked at me and he goes, oh, honey, oh, baby, I almost don't want to answer. I don't want to burst your bubble. And he goes, look around. We're in the basement of a hotel bar. He said, I'm doing this alone. You think your life's going to change because you get a publisher. He said, I have cases of books in the trunk of my car, and my wife and I leave for Nashville in the morning. We're grassroots selling the book because you think that your life is going to change, and you think everybody's going to come forward to help and to promote and market, and boom, the book's going to sell everywhere. And he said, you're really on your own. You'll get some help, okay, but you're on your own. He said, really pay attention to this. And all this time, I've always remembered that moment. And I feel like that out in Malta because I have been pushing for this book to get into the stores here since last November. I have been showing up at the bookstores and trying to talk to the managers and how do I get this book here? And the book came out in the US in January, came out in Europe in February. I finally got a case myself just a few weeks ago. The bookstore finally agreed to take that case because they placed an order with the wrong distributor. It never came. I thought I was finally being patient. I stopped being pushy. I waited 8 weeks in silence, in patience, waiting for these books to show up. And it turns out when I started making phone calls, the people that thought they ordered, the order never placed. The publisher, the distributor, the American publisher, it's just all been standing still. And it's been heartbreaking. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've really felt deflated. And today, the second case finally showed up, and I'm about to go drop it off at the store because I've become my own distributor over here because it is so hard to get books over to Malta. So in the next few weeks, the books will finally be out in all the Agenda bookstores. And Merlin, they placed an order also, so we're waiting patiently, yet again, different distributor, but in the next couple weeks. So the next time I do a video on this subject, I'm going to take you into Agenda and show you the book on the shelf. And I just want to remind anybody that's feeling discouraged, because I have been feeling alone, deflated, discouraged for weeks. Just not really wanting to be around people, not wanting to talk about it, because it's so complicated with distributors and European distributors and American publishing and being in Malta. The books have been tied up in customs for days, if not longer. It's been hard, really hard. And then I remember the book was Book of the Week at Women's World Magazine. I don't even know how that magic happened. And then I thought it was going to climb, and all of a sudden it was going to be my big break, and everything's just been the same. But today I get messages like this from the Olive Oil Academy, where they're reading my book out in Italy. You know, And you just remember that slowly, slowly, the book is growing legs and it's growing wings. And I have to remind myself that these things take time. And as long as I don't stop, I can get to some goal. I don't know what. I've never been a salesperson, and it's hard to become a salesman and a marketing guru and a technology person, none of which I've ever done or really learned well enough. So I'm babbling a little bit, but today I got the case of books and I'm about to go drop them off. And I just wanted to share with you guys because I always try to be really positive on this, and I haven't talked about how frustrating and heartbreaking and disappointing the whole process is, because at the end of the day, you get publicity. They're there for 3 months pre and they're there for 3 months post, and then you're on your own. And it's been really lonely and really hard. So if you've read my book, or you have my book, or if you're in Birmingham, Alabama, just came into the summit over there, Barnes & Noble, go get it. Support your friends. Put a review online. Amazon has been holding my reviews hostage. I know 3 different people that tried to leave reviews and they got kicked back. It's like every obstacle has been standing in my way for this book, and darn it, I'm doing it anyway. Please support it. It's a self-help book at the end of the day. It's still a self-help book, but it's a sweet read and it's fun. The Taste of Joy, Mediterranean Wisdom for a Life Worth Savoring. And I need all the support, reviews, comfort, and I just want to celebrate. Again, we did the festival and it came and went, and then the books still weren't here afterwards. And it's a lonely road when you decide to go into publishing. Thanks, and I'll do another video soon with the books in the bookstore.